This is Jose Bautista with the Toronto Blue Jays, and I am DIGMI.
All right, guys. Ray DIGMI down here, Tampa, Florida. Major League All-Star, Toronto Blue Jays outfielder, Jose Bautista. Here to talk a little bit about baseball, life, and about this clothing company from New York called DIGMI. So, Jose, thank you so much for being here, man. It's pretty cool to finally have an opportunity to talk to you. You know, we go way back from our days playing with the Pittsburgh Pirates in the minor leagues. So, thanks for the time. We appreciate it.
Yeah, no problem. Thanks for having me.
I can't thank you enough, for the support over the years. Because now I've actually taken a different route of being a fashion designer. So, talk to me a little bit about what you remember in our days grinding in the minor leagues over at Pirate City.
You know, those how most people call them the good old days back in the minor leagues. You know, a lot of struggles that we went through together as a group. We had a great group of guys: Bonifay, Chris Duffy, Ryan Doman. It was just a bunch of people that just loved baseball and enjoyed being around each other and like having fun. And we did that on and off the field. And I remember all those times in instructional league and spring training when we all just hung out. We had that nice camaraderie where everybody kind of got along together great, and we played some pretty good baseball at the same time. So those are times that I remember with a lot of good memories, and I'll never forget them. It was a great time.
That group and that personality that we all had, that's what led to the nickname. That's what led to the nickname DIGMI.
Well, I can expand a little bit on the nickname too, because it's not a coincidence that you got that nickname. You know, some of us like to dress up, and some of us like to dress up a little better than the other guys, and that's where you got it. You know, you like to always be fashionable. You always like to put yourself together well and kind of be hip, be cool, and know what's going on in the fashion world. And you did a good job back then. You still do a great job at that, and that's why you got the nickname. And we used to joke around how some guys supposedly used to dig themselves.
Yeah.
And it's a cool nickname, and it's a great name, and it's a cool brand, and you're building around it. So I'm really excited and proud.
So talk to me a little bit about your baseball career. I mean, I was there. I saw it firsthand. I remember when you used to show video of you, working out and hitting home runs in Dominican. You had video. You show us on TV like, oh, look at that home run, right? And we all knew how talented you were. And for a little while, you were kind of like stuck. You got to the big leagues and you weren't playing. You were Rule 5 and you weren't getting a chance to play. And for a long time, people didn't realize that you were in the big leagues for quite a few years before you really made a splash. So from your debut with Baltimore to going back to Pittsburgh to who you are now in Toronto.
Well, it was a long journey, and a lot of ups and downs, and a lot of struggles, but at the same time I always believed in my ability, and I had confidence that I was going to shine one day and be the best player that I could be. And not that I ever expected to hit 50 homers, but I always felt like there was more production in me than what I did show the first couple of years in the big leagues. And what I thought I was lacking was, the right opportunity and the right team, and being put in a position to succeed. It's always hard when you're younger and you're kind of breaking into the league and just being in that role where you actually don't even have a role. It's like, play here today, play there tomorrow. Just kind of let's give this guy a day off, and then we'll make you play here. It's tough to kind of perform in those circumstances, but luckily I finally got to a team that had enough flexibility to give me that shot. And they also worked on a lot of the things that I needed to work on. They helped me overcome some of those weaknesses and deficiencies that I had in my game, not only on defense, base running, but also on hitting. So with some adjustments at the plate and just taking advantage of the opportunity that I finally got, playing every day, I got to a team that actually had the same hitting mentality that I had as a little kid. Just get up there and rip it instead of, kind of working the count and hit the ball to right field and do this and bunt and all. I mean, that wasn't my style of playing, and it was kind of, it didn't fit me right. And when I got there, it was like all this weight got lifted off my shoulders. It was like somebody just kind of let me go play, and it was a breath of fresh air then. And I just remember going back on the field and kind of having a lot of fun again on the baseball diamond. I kind of forgot the fact that I was in the big leagues and just kind of went back to my childhood days and just kind of enjoyed the game for what it was. And I started doing better, which even made a more enjoyable.
Yeah.
And just kind of riding that wave, and I'm still feeling good about it. So I hope to keep on doing it.
Your first year, you got a chance to play every day in Toronto. You've been taking advantage of it. It's great. It's great to see.
Yeah, the consistency is the one thing that's the most different in me now that I didn't have back then. You know, I used to get into hot streaks and ride it for 3 or 4 days, and then I was slumping for 2 weeks. And that lack of consistency certainly helped my overall production. But now I kind of know myself better too, know my swing, know when I can do certain things. I figure out how other teams are trying to get me out as well. So you kind of become a little expert at the craft of studying the game and kind of learning, which sounds so cliche because that's what they tell you. The first day they draft you, you need to keep learning the game, but it's the truth. I'm a true believer in it, and I can attest to everybody that it does work. So I'm just fortunate and happy to have those opportunities to keep going out there every single day and keep playing baseball, the game that I love, in front of all those fans.
Is it more than you ever imagined?
Yeah, it's unbelievable. It's crazy, and I, again, thankful to all the fans for all the support. And it's huge and great to know that a lot of people follow your career and they want you to the best for you. So they're always cheering you on, and they stand behind you through thick and thin, and it's great to have. And the fans all over are great, but I'll tell you what, the fans in Toronto are unbelievable, and they are absolutely insane about the Blue Jays, and they love their players, myself included, and I get to enjoy that every single day, and it's huge, and I love it.
It's incredible, and I keep hearing that. Toronto would love DIGMI, so I'm hoping that as this continues to grow and we pick cities to go to, I think we're going to have to throw Toronto up there on the map.
That's right. Sure. We got to make that trip happen, and you'll love the city, and then we got to get Toronto some DIGMI for sure.
Yeah, that's for sure. You know, we know you're a 50 home run guy, 4 consecutive All-Star selections. One of those years, you led all the players in votes at the time, the most votes ever for a Major League Baseball player in an All-Star game. What's left for you? What is the biggest goal that you want to reach? What is left for you to accomplish in your Major League career?
The biggest goal is still out there, and I haven't accomplished it yet, and it's winning a championship. I mean, that's what we all play every single game for, and that's kind of how I grew up, just learning, wanting to learn how to win and kind of emulate what the Yankees did in New York for a long time. So it's the one thing that I crave the most, and it's the one thing that is always on my mind when I step on the field and when I'm at the gym working and when I'm putting all my work in, no matter what I'm doing.
Yeah. I mean, I can tell you that even at the minor league level, I've been fortunate to taste that champagne, and I know what it's like to celebrate with teammates, so I can't imagine what that would be like at the major league level. You know, your team last year, Toronto, made some big moves. How close are you guys? You know, do you feel like you're going to contend this year? Do you guys feel like you're a piece or two away from bringing, you know, a World Series caliber team back to Toronto?
We're a lot closer than a lot of people are going to give us credit. You know, last year it was kind of like the big media blowout where everybody expected us to win. The core of the team is the same. If we just all play up to our capabilities, we should have a much better year. And even though it's tough in the AL East, and you never know what can happen. Like Boston came out of the blue this year and just kind of blew everybody away. But I feel confident that we have what it takes. You know.
Who is your idol? Who did you look up to growing up?
The guy that I always looked up to and growing up was Ken Griffey Jr. You know, he was the perfect combination of power and speed, and he played center field, which is what I grew up wanting to play. And he just made some sick catches, robbing home runs, diving in the outfield, throwing people out in the bases. He was stealing bases and hitting, you know, 400, 500-foot home runs, and playing in all-star games, playing with his dad. You know, he accomplished a lot of things on the field that I loved. And then off the field, he was, you know, one of the best around too. So he was always, you know, staying out of trouble, and at the same time giving back to the community. I know he did a good job in Seattle and Cincinnati, so I always looked up to him.
He was the face of baseball for a long time. All right, here's a tough one for you. You can pick 5 albums/artists.
I'm gonna go first, Wisin y Yandel, reggaeton group out of Puerto Rico.
Yeah.
Then I'm gonna go with Bruno Mars. Then I'm gonna go with Drake. Let's see, I gotta pick somebody in the electronic music. So now I'm getting into that Cascade vibe lately, so I can go with him. And let me see, I'll pick out somebody from my native Dominican Republic. I'll say Juan Luis Guerra. He's one of the most iconic artists of my time.
Yeah.
He's a great singer from the Dominican Republic, so that'd be my fifth.
Sounds like a good playlist. Little bit of homegrown music, right? A little bit of soul and Bruno.
You gotta mix it up. You can't just be in one category.
Yeah.
You only get to pick
Absolutely.
five. You gotta have a good mix.
So would you be? I see you're a Drake fan. Would you be a Drake fan without the relationship between you and Toronto?
For sure. You know, it's a matter of coincidence that he just kind of broke out into the artist world after I got to Toronto. So he's one of the biggest hip hop artists of right now. So
Yeah.
he's definitely at the top of my list when it comes to that genre of music.
You know, one thing that, unfortunately, I'm sure he's not aware of, we haven't been able to get a hold of him, but I think if you remember, we have something that we're working on called the DIGMI Awards, where we honor the best in sports and fashion and pop culture. And a few years ago, you were the DIGMI Breakout Athlete of the Year, and that just so happened to be around the same time that Drake was the Breakout Artist of the Year.
Nice.
So a nice little, a nice little click right there.
Yeah.
As am I a huge Drake fan as well too, being from New York. All right, here's another good one I ask all the time, and I'm asking a lot of the young kids now that are rocking DIGMI and stuff. Michael Jordan, Kobe Bryant, or LeBron James?
Michael Jordan.
Right?
Yeah, there's
I don't want to throw my 2 cents in, but that made me feel good. I'm not gonna lie.
It's not even up for debate. You know, not only has Michael's career been done, and you can analyze it and kind of see what he already did. Those other guys can still keep going and build, and maybe at one point they'll surpass. But just winning all those championships and the way he did it, and changing the game the way he did it, you know, going from a lot of dribbling and passing and shooting threes and banking shots in to dunking from the free throw line and going behind your back and doing all these moves that they just weren't happening at that time. The way he changed the game has got to be hands down him.
Michael Jordan, absolutely. All right, so let's get back a little bit about a little bit more on baseball. So where do you see yourself 5 years from where you are right now in your career?
Well, hopefully in 5 years I'm still going to be playing and enjoying a successful career, hopefully with a couple of championship rings, but also, you know, having accomplished more things in life. You know, I'm big on being an entrepreneur. I'm big on giving back to the community. So the last couple of years I started my own foundation, kind of emulating a foundation from a gentleman from San Jose, California, named Donald Oderman, where he opened up a door for me to go to college. I'm trying to do the same for other kids, so I'm already helping around 15 kids, and it's going great. So I hope to keep doing that and building on that and kind of having the foundation grow as much as I can and influence other kids' lives. So, and then on the entrepreneurial world, just kind of taking advantage of good opportunities and hopefully good fits of different companies or different ideas that I might have that I can just leave kind of a little bit of legacy in the world, not only in sports and in the charity, but also on building some businesses and hopefully impacting lives in that way.
After baseball, do you see yourself being the kind of player who accomplished so much at the major league level and then kind of walking away and leaving baseball behind you, or do you feel like maybe you might keep your hand or your feet somewhere locked in the baseball world, whether it be coaching or television or front office? I mean, do you see yourself sticking around the game?
Of course, I'll be involved in the game probably the rest of my life. It's something that you just can't shake, especially that quickly. So I'll be involved in the game in some way, one way or another, but it's hard for me to pinpoint exactly what that might be. But all the choices that you said, coaching, being on broadcasting and TV, being in a front office, or being on the field and in the major league still as a coach, all those things can happen. It's hard to pinpoint right now and pick and choose, but I'll leave myself open to all those possibilities. Who knows what's going to happen in the future, but hopefully I'm able to stick around the game. This game has given me a lot of things, and hopefully I can just give some of those things back.
You know, our company's mantra, our company's phrase is also live, dream big. I've asked a lot of the guys that have supported us, what does that mean to you? You know, it stands for, you know, live your dreams, be yourself along the way. And, you know, does that apply to someone like you? Does it apply to what you're doing on the field and what you're doing off the field? Is that one of the reasons that, you know, our clothes, our t-shirts kind of attracted you a little bit?
Yeah, for sure. I mean, whoever reads those 3 words and think that they don't apply to themselves, there's something wrong with them. But everybody has to have a goal. Everybody has to have that thing that they're chasing and they want to accomplish because it's what they love or what they want in life. And I think that phrase represents it in the perfect way. And at the same time, you know, the world is not the easiest place to live, but you have to live. And you got to be yourself, because at some point or another, if you're not, the truth will come out, and or you're going to struggle. So it represents a lot of different things that I can see it how it would apply to me. And I mean, that's one of the attractive things about wearing that on your chest, on your shirt, when you have it down the street. You know, it has a meaning. It does apply to you, and it's not just wearing whatever somebody's throwing in your locker, or whatever you went to the store and you're buying and you don't even know what it means just because it looks cool. You know, having a meaning behind things is actually something that's really important to me and dear to me. So I wear it with a lot of pride. So I hope to keep doing it.
I've checked the map. You know, I'm a New York guy. I live in Long Island. Citi Field and Yankee Stadium in the Boogie Down Bronx are roughly 20 miles from our flagship store, DIGMI Nation. Holding out hope maybe one day Jose Bautista makes a special appearance at our very first store.
Oh, I'll make an appearance for sure. I'll be in New York 3 times this summer, and I'll definitely make it to the store on one of those visits.
That's what I'm talking about.
At least.
At least. See, and that's great news to hear for all the fans out there that are supporting DIGMI. So, real quick, any last words for all the other major league players, all the kids in college, all the kids on our street team that are really falling in love with the brand, they're believing in what we're doing. You know, any last word from a guy that a lot of people look up to and are real excited that you're rocking the same stuff we're rocking?
Yeah, just, you know, follow your dreams. This brand was kind of based on that, and I was there when it got started. This brand came up from a just group of guys having fun and enjoying their time working hard and playing baseball. So just wear it proudly, and I will be wearing it proudly as well. So hopefully you guys like what you see and what you're wearing, and keep supporting DIGMI, and be careful because there's some good stuff coming out soon.
All right, Jose Bautista, Major League All-Star, man, the best luck. Thank you so much for the support. Hey guys, Ray DIGMI down here in Tampa. Jose Bautista, thanks so much for the support. DIGMI Discussions. We'll see you back home in New York. See ya.
This is Jose Bautista with the Toronto Blue Jays, and I am DIGMI.